If there's been one movement that has helped me in everything that I do, squat, bench, deadlift, you name it, like any variation, I think rowing has helped me across the board. I don't think there's that many lifts like that or that many movements that would help you across the board like that. But rows have done that for me. I keep thinking about it, obviously. Every time you do something in the gym, you want a rationale behind it. You don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. And the whole idea of carpet bombing things and doing everything, to tick the box. Yeah, sure, that kind of works. But my mind always gravitates towards reasoning, logic, understanding. I want to know what I'm doing. I want to know, what is what am I aiming with this? And so when it comes to training, you put years into this, and after a little while, you get a feel. Even if you're not the most clever person in the world, you get a feel, man. A monkey will get a feel. Okay, so man, every time I do this, I kind of feel all right. And that's what I feel when I do rowing. Rowing has been on my mind for years, and I've always kind of concluded it's just way too expensive, man. It takes away points from squatting and deadlifting. Now I'm of the opinion that bloody hell, man. Don't worry about squatting and deadlifting. Don't put volume in there. Put in some accessories that you don't do as often. And so the rowing has kind of become a staple, and I do a lot of it. Last session that I did then 12 sets of it. Right, 12 sets of 10. I did 7 sets of 10 with supinated grip with 100 kilos. Then I moved to pronated grip. Did another 5. I'm just like bombing it. Today, I really wanted to do rowing, but I'm not up for it. My glutes are hurting me. Adductors are hurting me from the volume in the squats. And so I'm back to kind of square one. Sure, I'll definitely be doing rowing once a week. That's without a doubt. Once, the soreness, kind of washes away, I'll be all right. But in my mind, I'm like, man, is there a way I can just get a little bit of more pulling into the mix? Pull-ups come into the mix straight away. But I don't want more lats. This is something that I have all right. I've kind of always felt like my lats have been all right. It's just the upper back, man, the upper back, the upper part of the upper back. Traps. Straight away, I think about upright rows, and I've had a few goes at upright rows. My shoulders feel wonky when I do it with the barbell. Something clicks, something doesn't feel right. And so I kind of moved away from it. And then today I thought, man, I've got this cable machine. Maybe I can augment. Maybe I can adjust the pulling angle. So, with the cable, you can do whatever you want with it. So today I was kind of pulling at 45 degrees. So it wasn't straight up and down like you would in a normal barbell. This was kind of 45. And I must say, there was no clicking, there was no popping, there was no good sensation. It was all in the muscle, and it was all in that trap region. And even towards the later part of the sets, and I've done a lot of freaking sets, I did something like 15 sets, messed around with lightweight, warmed up, and then I went to a heavier weight and lower weight, just messing around. Not all of them were hardcore working sets. But I tend to do that when I'm kind of experimenting. And yeah, I did lots of it, and I feel great. My traps feel like I've worked them. And this is kind of what you need to do when you have something that is a lagging body part. You can't just, stick with compound movements, because your body has been well programmed to avoid engaging weak things when you're, wrestling a damn bear. So when you're doing barbell rows, your body will try to go to the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance for me is always lats. And I do get a lat pump and, all that stuff, but I rarely get traps. It's like almost escapes me. And so when I do this angle of a cable upright row kind of variation, it's light enough that I don't have to use lats and, cheat. But it's heavy enough to kind of get a good stimulus to the traps, to the weakness that I want. So, this was really good. So I'm kind of thinking along these lines, for the last few days, I've been thinking about, man, I'd love a second rowing type of session. And today I did that. I supersetted it with calf raises. I finished up with some squats, still kind of sore, like I mentioned. But it was a really good workout. I kept moving around, do some rowing, do some calf raises, do some rowing, do some calf raises, so back and forth. And, I got a bit of a sweat going, a bit of a pump. Calves felt pumped, upper back felt pumped. Like it was a really good feeling. So maybe this is something I'll reintroduce, a second pulling, even though I do huge amounts of volume on the primary rowing day, I still feel like I need to do a little bit more for the stuff that's kind of weakness. And that upper back trap area, like I mentioned, man, all that stuff I think is beneficial for the bench press. There's huge amounts of discussion about that. Look at your best benches, man. They all have really developed upper backs. And when I say upper back, I'm mostly thinking about traps, because that's the stuff that's going to make the biggest difference, I think. I mean, sure, lats can be involved. Depends how you bench, really. But the upper traps, middle traps, even lower traps, all that whole, diamond shape is going to make sure that your scapulas are stabilized and kind of grounded really well, and will prevent that shoulder protraction, that forward rounding. And because, a bench press, if you do that, it's over, man. So you kind of need to have a good base, and that base for the bench press is the upper back or the traps. Same with the deadlifts. If you're one of those guys that, struggles off the floor, consider traps. If you struggle off the chest in bench press, consider traps. If you're leaning over too far in the squat, consider traps. I tick all those boxes. So this is something that, I've done millions probably at this point of reps of pull-ups, and it says, what did I get at the end of it? Okay, lats, but traps not existent. I'm flat as anything from the side view. So maybe I did them wrong. Who knows? Maybe you can make it work right, whatever, all that stuff. But I still feel like isolating your weakest parts is best. There are some people out there who have really long arms and they're all backy. If you have short arms, you're probably going to be more army, like a bit more arms. And so it depends on your leverages. You're always going to have something that you're going to be weak at. The guys with really long arms, they probably have to work on chest, so do flies and things like that. So there's no right or wrong. Like, you just have to work it out for yourself and what works for you, and just see how it goes. Basically, that's kind of what I'm doing this whole damn 5 years, and I'm having a lot of fun along with it. So it's a good time. Appreciate you guys like always. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.